Have you ever found yourself getting up several times during the night, disrupting your sleep, feeling that urgent need to go, or maybe experience some discomfort? A little bit of, well, let's just say, things not feeling quite as predictable or comfortable down there as they used to. It's a reality for many of us once we pass a certain age. And while some changes are natural, what if some of that discomfort, that inconvenience, was actually being made worse by the very foods you're eating every day? It can be a painful reality, this change in how our bodies handle things as we age, particularly when it comes to our urological health. But here's a little secret: you might have more control over some of these issues than you think. Experts, urologists who understand the plumbing system of our bodies inside and out, often point to diet as a significant factor. In this video, we're going to look at 5 specific foods that, according to urologists, you might want to reconsider after you've passed that 60 mark because they can potentially irritate your bladder, affect your prostate, or just make things generally more uncomfortable. These aren't necessarily bad foods for everyone, but for our bodies as they age, they can be triggers. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about this topic, something positive you might not expect. Let's start with the first category, and it's something that brings flavor and excitement to many dishes, but can also bring a bit of unwelcome heat to your urinary tract: spicy foods. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How can a little chili or hot sauce affect your bladder or prostate? Well, it turns out that the compounds that give spicy foods their kick, like capsaicin, aren't just felt on your tongue. When these compounds are absorbed into your bloodstream and then eventually processed by your kidneys and sent to your bladder as waste products, they can irritate the bladder lining. Think of it like this: your bladder is a sensitive organ, and introducing irritants can cause it to become more reactive, leading to increased frequency, urgency, and sometimes even discomfort or burning sensations when you urinate. For men, particularly those dealing with prostate changes common after 60, this bladder irritation can exacerbate existing symptoms. The enlarged prostate can already make it harder to empty the bladder completely, and an irritated bladder might signal the need to go more often, even when there's not much there, leading to those frustrating, frequent trips to the bathroom, day and night. It's not just fiery hot peppers either. Foods heavily spiced with things like cayenne pepper, chili powder, or even certain curries can have this effect. Consider your favorite spicy wing sauce, that extra kick you add to your soup, or those delicious but potent ethnic dishes. While they might be a delight for your taste buds, they could be causing your bladder a bit of a headache. And the effect isn't always immediate. Sometimes it's the cumulative impact of regularly eating spicy foods. If you find yourself having more bathroom troubles after a meal that packed a punch, there might be a connection. Now, I'm not saying you have to banish spice from your life entirely. Life's too short for that for most of us. But it's about awareness and moderation. If you're experiencing bothersome symptoms, try doing a little experiment. For a week or 2, consciously reduce your intake of heavily spiced foods. Pay attention to how your body responds, particularly your bladder. Are you making fewer trips to the restroom? Does the urgency feel less intense? You might be surprised at the difference it makes. If you love spicy flavors, look for ways to add depth without intense heat. Things like ginger, cumin, turmeric, or paprika can offer wonderful flavors without the same level of capsaicin irritation. Maybe opt for milder versions of your favorite dishes when dining out, or reduce the amount of chili you use when cooking at home. Small adjustments can often yield noticeable improvements in how your bladder feels and behaves. It's about finding that balance where you can still enjoy your food without it negatively impacting your comfort and sleep. Understanding this potential link between spicy foods and urological symptoms is the first step in taking control and easing some of that discomfort that can become more prevalent after 60. It's not just an old wives' tale. There's a physiological reason why that heat can be a problem for your bladder. So, that's spicy foods. A key area to consider if you're looking to improve your urological comfort. Moving on to another category that's incredibly common in our diets and often praised for its health benefits, but can also be problematic for the sensitive aging bladder: acidic foods and drinks. Think about things like tomatoes, citrus fruits such as oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes, and even vinegars. These foods are high in acid, and just like the capsaicin in spicy food, that acid content can irritate the lining of the bladder as it passes through your system. Tomatoes are a big one because they're in so many things we eat regularly: pasta sauces, pizzas, ketchup, soups, salsas. While they are packed with antioxidants, their acidity can be a real trigger for bladder urgency and frequency in some people. Similarly, starting your day with a glass of orange juice, enjoying grapefruit for breakfast, or adding lemon to your water can be refreshing and seem healthy, but the high citric acid content can irritate the bladder lining, leading to those familiar symptoms of having to go more often, sometimes with a sudden, strong urge. Even foods with added vinegar, like pickles or some salad dressings, can contribute to this issue. Imagine you're out enjoying a meal. You have a lovely pasta dish with a rich tomato sauce, followed by a glass of orange juice, or maybe a dessert with a lemon glaze, later that day. Or perhaps overnight. You notice you're making more trips to the bathroom than usual. While many factors can contribute, the acidic load from that meal could very well be playing a significant role. For someone whose bladder is already less elastic or more sensitive with age, or for men dealing with prostate-related flow issues, this added irritation from acidic foods can really amplify the symptoms. Again, this isn't about completely eliminating these healthy foods from your diet forever. Citrus fruits and tomatoes offer valuable vitamins and nutrients. The key is understanding your body and how it reacts. If you suspect acidic foods are a trigger for you, try reducing your intake of the most concentrated sources. Maybe opt for cream-based sauces instead of tomato-based ones sometimes. Try replacing citrus juices with less acidic options like apple juice, though be mindful of sugar or water. When adding flavor to dishes, consider herbs and spices instead of relying heavily on vinegar. Even how you consume these foods can make a difference. Eating an orange as part of a larger meal might be less irritating than drinking a glass of orange juice on an empty stomach. Diluting acidic drinks, like adding more water to lemon water, can also help. Paying attention to patterns is crucial here. Keep a simple food diary for a week or two, noting what you eat and drink and when you experience bothersome urological symptoms. This can help you identify specific triggers that are unique to you. You might find that while a small amount of tomato sauce is fine, a large bowl of spicy tomato soup causes problems, or that oranges bother you, but grapefruit doesn't as much. Our bodies are unique, and figuring out your personal triggers is empowering. By being mindful of acidic foods and their potential impact on your bladder after 60, you can make informed choices that lead to fewer interruptions and greater comfort throughout your day and night. It's another piece of the puzzle in managing those frustrating symptoms that can creep up as we age. Now that we've discussed the potential impact of spicy and acidic foods, let's talk about beverages, specifically caffeine and carbonated drinks. Many of us rely on that morning cup of coffee, or enjoy the fizz of a soda or sparkling water throughout the day. But for your bladder after 60, these drinks can often be problematic. Caffeine is a well-known diuretic, meaning it increases urine production. This alone can lead to more frequent trips to the bathroom. But beyond just making you produce more urine, caffeine can also irritate the bladder muscle itself, potentially leading to increased urgency and even bladder spasms in some individuals. It's not just coffee. Tea, especially black or green tea, chocolate, and many energy drinks and sodas also contain caffeine. While a moderate amount might be fine for some, others find that even a single cup can worsen their urological symptoms. Imagine you have coffee in the morning, then maybe a caffeinated soda with lunch, and perhaps another cup of tea in the afternoon. That's a steady stream of bladder irritants and diuretics working throughout the day. leading to a lot of pressure and frequent urges to go. This can be particularly disruptive at night if you consume caffeine in the late afternoon or evening. For men with prostate issues, this increased urine production and bladder irritation can make it even harder to manage their symptoms. Carbonated drinks, even those without caffeine or artificial sweeteners, which we'll get to, can also cause problems. The bubbles themselves can irritate the bladder lining in some people. Think about how fizzy drinks can sometimes give you a slightly gassy or uncomfortable feeling in your stomach. A similar irritation can occur in the bladder. This means that even seemingly innocent sparkling water or decaffeinated fizzy drinks could be contributing to your symptoms. So, what can you do if you're a regular consumer of caffeinated or carbonated drinks and are experiencing bladder issues? Try cutting back or switching to alternatives. If you love your morning coffee, try switching to a low-acid coffee or mixing decaf with regular. Gradually reduce the amount of caffeinated drinks you have throughout the day. Explore herbal teas. Many are naturally caffeine-free and non-acidic or plain water. When it comes to carbonated drinks, try still water with fruit slices for flavor, or dilute juices with still water instead of sparkling. Making the switch can be challenging, especially if you're used to the routine or the lift that caffeine provides. But even small reductions can make a difference. For example, if you normally drink 3 cups of coffee, try reducing it to 2, or switching 1 to decaf. If you always have soda with lunch, switch to water a few days a week. Observe how your body responds. Just like with spicy and acidic foods, paying attention to the effect these drinks have on you personally is key. Some people might be more sensitive than others. It's also worth noting that dehydration can actually make urological symptoms worse, as concentrated urine is more irritating to the bladder. So, while you're cutting back on caffeine and carbonation, make sure you're increasing your intake of plain water. This helps dilute urine and keeps the bladder healthier. It might seem counterintuitive, drinking more to go less often, but well-hydrated urine is less irritating. Next up, let's talk about alcohol. Many of us enjoy a glass of wine with dinner, a beer with friends, or a cocktail occasionally. And while moderate alcohol consumption is part of a social life for many, it's another substance that can have a significant impact on your urological health after 60, like caffeine. Alcohol is a diuretic. This means it increases how much urine your body produces, leading to more frequent trips to the bathroom. This effect is particularly noticeable if you consume alcohol in the evening, as it can significantly disrupt your sleep with those urgent calls to the bathroom during the night. Beyond the diuretic effect, alcohol can also irritate the bladder lining, similar to acidic and spicy foods, potentially worsening symptoms of urgency and frequency. For men, alcohol can also relax the smooth muscles in the prostate and bladder neck, which can sometimes worsen symptoms of incomplete bladder emptying or weak stream, especially if you already have an enlarged prostate. Combined with increased urine production and bladder irritation, it can create a perfect storm for a very uncomfortable night or day. Think about the times you've had a few drinks. Didn't you notice needing to use the restroom more often than usual? This effect is amplified as we age and our bodies become a little less resilient and more sensitive. While the occasional drink might not cause major issues for everyone, regular or excessive alcohol consumption can definitely contribute to persistent urological problems. Different types of alcohol might also have slightly different effects on individuals. Some people find that beer causes more issues due to its carbonation and yeast content, while others react more to the acidity of wine. Again, the advice here isn't necessarily zero tolerance for everyone. It's about understanding the potential impact and making informed choices based on your own body and symptoms. If you're struggling with frequent urination, urgency, or nighttime bathroom trips, trying a period of reducing or eliminating alcohol could be very revealing. If you choose to drink, moderation is key. One drink with a meal might be tolerated better than several drinks on an empty stomach. Ensuring you're also drinking plenty of water alongside alcohol can help mitigate some of the diuretic effects and keep urine diluted, though it won't eliminate the bladder irritation potential. Consider replacing alcoholic drinks with bladder-friendly alternatives. Water with cucumber or mint, herbal teas, or diluted fruit juices can be good options. Social situations can be tricky, but there are more and more non-alcoholic alternatives available now that can help you feel included without the negative urological consequences. It's about finding ways to socialize and relax that support, rather than hinder your physical comfort and sleep quality as you get older. Being mindful of your alcohol intake is a valuable step in managing urological symptoms after 60. Finally, let's talk about artificial sweeteners and highly processed snack foods. These are often found in diet or sugar-free products and many convenient snacks, and they can be surprisingly irritating to the bladder. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose, while calorie-free, are chemicals that need to be processed by your body. As they are excreted in urine, they can irritate the sensitive lining of the bladder in some individuals, leading to increased urgency, frequency, and discomfort. Think about sugar-free sodas, diet teas, sugar-free candies, and many processed snacks labeled as low sugar or keto-friendly that rely on these sweeteners. If you consume these products regularly throughout the day, you could be constantly exposing your bladder to potential irritants. Furthermore, many highly processed snack foods, things like packaged cookies, crackers, chips, and pastries, contain a whole host of artificial ingredients, preservatives, flavorings, and high amounts of sodium. These can contribute to overall inflammation in the body. And an irritated, inflamed system can certainly include a less happy bladder. The high sodium content in many of these snacks can also affect your body's fluid balance and potentially contribute to increased urine production or changes in its concentration, further bothering the bladder. It's easy to grab a bag of chips or some sugar-free cookies when you're looking for a quick snack. They're convenient and often marketed as guilt-free options compared to their sugary counterparts. But for your aging bladder, they might be anything but. The combination of artificial ingredients and high sodium can be a double whammy of irritation and potential fluid imbalance. If you're experiencing persistent bladder symptoms and regularly consume products with artificial sweeteners or lots of processed snacks, try eliminating them from your diet for a couple of weeks. Replace them with whole, unprocessed foods instead of a diet soda. Have plain water or water infused with fresh fruit instead of packaged cookies. Have a piece of fruit, a handful of nuts, or some plain yogurt. Choose snacks like carrots and hummus, apple slices with peanut butter, or a small portion of air-popped popcorn seasoned lightly. Observe how your symptoms change. You might find that removing these artificial culprits brings a significant improvement in bladder comfort and predictability. Reading food labels is key here. Artificial sweeteners are often listed under various names. Look for ingredients you recognize as actual food. Remember, the goal isn't to make eating a chore or to live a life devoid of pleasure. It's about making informed choices that support your well-being as you get older. Your body's needs change, and what was fine in your 30s or 40s might be contributing to issues after 60. By being mindful of these 5 categories of foods, spicy foods, acidic foods, caffeinated and carbonated drinks, alcohol, and artificial sweeteners, processed snacks, you can take proactive steps to reduce bladder irritation, improve symptoms, and gain greater control over your urological health. So, we've talked about 5 kinds of foods and drinks that urologists often flag as potential troublemakers for your bladder and prostate after 60, the spicy ones that carry heat, the acidic ones found in citrus and tomatoes, the bubbly and energizing ones like coffee and soda, the social ones like alcohol, and those convenient ones packed with artificial stuff and salt. It might seem like a lot to avoid, but remember, the most important thing is to understand how your body reacts. These are common triggers, not guaranteed problems for every single person. The key is awareness and experimentation. Try cutting back on one category at a time and see if it makes a difference for you. It's easy to feel like these changes of aging are just something you have to live with. Those frequent bathroom trips, the urgency, the discomfort. But small, mindful adjustments to your diet can sometimes make a surprisingly big difference in your daily comfort and your quality of sleep. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge and taking simple steps to feel better. And remember that surprise I mentioned earlier. While avoiding irritating foods is important, here's something positive to focus on. Hydration is absolutely crucial, but it's the right kind of hydration. Many people cut back on drinking fluids to reduce bathroom trips, but this often backfires. Concentrated urine is far more irritating to the bladder than diluted urine. The real surprise is how much simply drinking enough plain water throughout the day can help aim for clear or pale yellow urine. This helps flush out irritants more quickly and keeps your bladder lining healthier. It might seem counterintuitive, but increasing your water intake, while reducing the irritating drinks, can significantly improve your symptoms. It's not about drinking less, it's about drinking smarter. And also, focusing on what you can eat. Foods like bananas, pears, apricots, winter squash, lean proteins, whole grains, and many vegetables are typically considered bladder-friendly and can form the foundation of a diet that supports urological health. Adding things like pumpkin seeds, rich in zinc, can also be beneficial for prostate health. Making these changes isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about listening to your body and giving it the support it needs to function comfortably as you age. You don't have to suffer in silence with uncomfortable urological symptoms. There are simple, actionable steps you can take. Starting right in your kitchen. What are your experiences with any of these foods or drinks and your urological health? Have you noticed a connection? Share your thoughts and tips in the comments below. Your experience might just help someone else who is going through the same thing. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a like. It helps us reach more people who could benefit from this knowledge. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos packed with practical tips for living your best. Most comfortable life after 60. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Live your best life at every age.